Hello, my name is Ruth Taylor and I came to New Zealand with toddlers and now have teenagers, and I come to you today as a parenting coach and author of the Childish Adult book series. And today we're going to be looking at behaviour types. Now, behaviour is obviously one of the big things on top for most people, but I don't know whether or not you're aware, but there are three main types of behaviour. Today we're going to look at behaviour type 1, which is undoubtedly one of the hardest to deal with. Why? Well, I'll tell you. So behaviour type 1 is kids will be kids. And so basically what this means is that we shouldn't really be punishing this behaviour, because at the end of the day they're just kids. They can't really help it. They don't really know what they're doing. It just kind of happens because they're taken away in the moment and all that kind of stuff. The challenge we have with this type of behaviour is often it has what I would call a quantifiable cost as far as outcome and of cause and effect. It generally happens when we have treated them in some way, or organised something special for them, or created an opportunity for them we thought they're going to really enjoy, and then they lose it. So imagine this: you've bought your child a balloon, and say that balloon cost you $4, and they've got hold of it in their nice little hand and they're playing with it, and it's the life and soul just right now. That's their treasured possession. Only had it a few minutes, but minutes in their lifetime is quite a big proportion. So it's their treasured possession. But then there's a butterfly, and as they look at the butterfly, the balloon wafts up and disappears into the sky. So what do we have now? Well, obviously you're a little bit put out that you've just gone and spent money on this balloon, which they really wanted to be badgering you for hours, and now they've got distracted by a butterfly and they've let it go, and now they're in tears. So not only are you having to deal with the fact that you've just bought them something, and why the hell didn't they keep hold of it, because really was it that difficult? You've got this traumatised child who's bawling their eyes out and causing everyone to look at you and think, oh my god, bad parents. Now, there's a real strong drive now to fix the problem because we're parents. One of the main ways of fixing that problem would be to go and buy them a new one. Awesome. And a lot of people do that, and sometimes it's the only outcome that you can see is going to work for everybody because you're just not in the mood to deal with it. But I would encourage you, if you can, just to step back from that solution if you can, and allow your child to go through the journey of learning that they're on. Because everything which happens can be treated as a teachable moment or learning opportunity. And learning about cause and effect is actually quite a big step in your child's education, which they need to learn. Now, the thing is with kids being kids, is they follow quite a simple calculation. So A is the ability. So you wouldn't bother buying your child a balloon until it had the ability to hold on to a string. So the child had the ability. But the problem is, because they're children, they've got the behaviour. And the behaviour of children is they're easily distracted by butterflies. Or, oh my god, isn't that beautiful? Or, I just wonder what would happen if I poked this balloon with this sharp stick. So what you have is a series of choices which don't necessarily lead to the outcome the child expected, wanted, or is now happy with. So you have a lot of tears, you have a lot of emotion. So if this is something which happens to you and you can identify that the behaviour that they've just shown is just because, yes, okay, they had the ability, but actually the behaviour is probably childish rather than intentionally done to annoy you, you've got a choice as well. And I would encourage you to get down at your child's level and just empathise with them. Look, learning about cause and effect is something even we as adults can get quite ratty with. You speed, you choose to drive too fast, police pulls you over. Is it really worth that rant and rave to the police officer to complain about the speeding ticket? Actually not that many people take it kind of like, sorry officer, you're right, I was speeding, I'll take the consequence. But that's part of it. It's that learning thing. And if we come in with what I call our fix, what we've basically done is we have solved an equation which they're actually not even understanding right now because they haven't had the opportunity to learn it. So look, the fix could be that it gets tied around their wrist. Maybe your child's got an idea, depending on their age. You can say to them, look, I can see you're really upset that you've lost that balloon. It was a really nice balloon. I actually really like that blue colour. It was a good choice you made. And it's really sad when we lose something that we really wanted. But I tell you what, next time we come out, I think we maybe treat the situation a little bit different. How about maybe we tie it around your wrist next time? You know, like we've tied your sister or your brother's balloon onto their buggy so it couldn't go. Maybe if we did that next, what do you think? And your child, look, may or may not be able to agree with you at that time. It depends on how distraught they are because of said balloon. You know, as I said, prized possession. They've had it at least a couple of minutes. And that will work. And then next time you go and you see something, you're already now thinking, children, if this is your second child, you're probably already on the ball, that you'll actually see quite a few situations where this childish behaviour is like to catch them out. So say with an ice cream, you only have one or two opportunities where you see your child drop their ice cream and have all the tears that you realise that you maybe need to intervene. And so you provide them with the fix before it's even needed. So you give them the ice cream and you say to them, look, give me the ice cream before you go and play in the park, or do this or do that. But what we haven't done is explain to them the process or reason that we're offering that solution. So they'll, you know, if we just tied the balloon straight to the child's wrist, they'll be quite happy, you know, playing around with the thing tied to their wrist, but they won't understand necessarily why you've done that. And I think that's part of what we need to step back from as parents, is going, okay, I can think of the fix, actually let me work with my child to help educate them how to come up with the fix for themselves. So we need to describe the situation as we see it with our adult eyes. I have just given you an ice cream. It's a very hot day. I can see it's going to drip and it's going to go over your hands. Now, the effect of this is I think you might get a little bit upset, but you've got sticky fingers and you're not quite comfortable with that. So I tell you what, why don't we wrap a napkin around it and that'll stop it happening. So what you've done there is you've taken them through quite a clear process, which hopefully over time will stick in their heads and they can start to use themselves to solve problems they have in the future, which overall should lead to less kids will be kids behaviour. Hey look, good luck with this type 1 behaviour, and stay tuned, there'll be another couple coming to you soon. Thank you.